gave up too many baskets in transition, just not sprinting back and putting our defense together. We took some bad shots, which held our offensive production down. But I cannot fault our effort. Elgin going to get 12 boards, Dwayne going to get 12 boards. Beating them 10 on the boards I thought was big. We executed some things pretty well, but I thought our effort was good. This is going to be a good basketball team that we beat. They're going to win a lot of games. They had a power rank at 38 last year, and they're going to be just as good this year. It's going to be a big win for us when we look back. So, really proud of the guys. That's a good win for our team.
You guys are moving the ball very well today, and it seems like you guys kind of clicking early on. Are you surprised at all how fast this team's progressing?
No, not really. I mean, they all, they're all confident. And I think they're figuring out where their shots are going to come from. We just get a little impatient. We were quicker than them. There's some teams that obviously are going to be a lot bigger than us, but I like our quickness, and we've got to make people guard more area. We get the ball on one side of the field, we don't make them guard both sides of the floor. And, our possessions, when we do that, we don't score very well. So our ball movement's got to get better. More people got to get that ball from both sides of the floor and make them guard a lot more area. And when we did that and then drove it at them, we were in pretty good shape.
These newcomers, you knew they were probably athletic and could score, but it seemed like you guys were winning most all the 50-50 balls. Were they this tenacious when they got here, and you had to coax that out of them a little bit?
No, I think the guys want to compete. I thought, like Jordan diving on some balls and blocking some shots. Casey took 2 big charges. After he took those charges, they did drive for a while, and so I thought that was a big factor. Those little things, but Jordan getting on the floor, guys getting on the floor, Theo diving on the floor in the last play of the game and getting the ball, that's a contagious thing. And it can go the other way too. If nobody's diving on balls and nobody's taking charges, that can be also contagious. So I really like our effort. Our guys know that we're going to have just the same kind of effort on the road now, on a neutral site. We're really excited about going to Brooklyn and playing a very talented team in Michigan. So that's the next step. But today was a big hurdle. Today was a big test for us. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And we got stuck playing Toledo because none of the other teams in the tournament wanted to. And so that was a big hurdle for us.
Coach, I know you weren't sure about using the press earlier in the season, but you used it today. You comfortable with using the press moving forward with this team?
We got to. We've got to use our athleticism. We've got to make some people, like I said, we can guard the full court with our speed. So we've got to make people guard more area, and then we've got to guard that area too and use our quickness, spread them out a little bit on the defensive end, because obviously when they throw it inside on us, we're really small.
Did you like what you got out of the zone?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. We had a few possessions, 2 in the first half where we just didn't get back. And they got, Weatherspoon got 3 from the top, and he got the dunk on the baseline. That was just 4 defensive transition, but that wasn't against the zone. And then the second half, we made a nice run, get up double figures, and then we gave up 4 offensive rebounds. But they weren't scoring on the first shot. I think if we tighten up the rebounding a little bit, tighten up bumping guys when they're moving against the zone. But today, the zone did help us.
Dana, it seemed like you guys really attacked the rim tonight. Was that a concerted effort? You got them into foul trouble.
Well, we knew that the big fella was going to be a handful for us on the defensive end, and we just wanted every time we could to drive the ball at him. Elgin's much quicker. Dylan drew a couple fouls on just driving the ball at him, making him guard that. And so we wanted to attack with those guys. We wanted more penetration kicks than what we got. I thought we got in there sometimes and forced some bad shots that should have been kicked out. But hopefully our guys will learn and they'll see it on film and make those adjustments.
Is that a key this year with when you're going to be undersized? If you can drive and kind of neutralize a little bit, if you can get there out of the game.
Again, I like our quickness. We won't have a great quickness advantage on a number of teams, but when we do, we really got to try to take advantage. We got to flip the game in our favor by making it a full court, drive, kick game. And Michigan's a little bit like us, drive and kick, so they're a little bit different matchup for us than Toledo was.
With the end of the game, as a leading scorer for Toledo, you guys, even though they're undersized, held their own in the paint today. I mean, you were kind of pleased with their performance down in the paint today?
Without a doubt. Like I said, Jordan blocking 4 shots, the 12 rebounds by Elgin, the 12 rebounds by Dwayne. Those are all really good signs for our team. We got to get everybody involved in the rebounding, but those guys going and getting those boards is really encouraging.
They got, within 6 and 7 there in the second half, and you guys never really let them make a run or kind of, really threaten you. Go and push it back up to kind of.
Well, we hit free throws. We hit Elgin, drove it, got fouled, hit 2 free throws. We kept attacking their press and getting a couple of easy ones there, but we drove it at the basket, and guys made some pretty good plays when we got them stretched out and when they tried to guard us full court.
Dana, I know you said that defensively you made a couple of mistakes, but do you feel like you guys took a step forward overall in this game?
Yes, no, we did. We did. This is the best offensive team we faced, and so yeah, I felt like we did. I thought we, in the first half, just didn't press out on their shooters enough. Really disappointed there. I thought we did a better job, especially on Brown in the second half. He was 4 for 6 at half, and went 0 for 3 the second. We really got up on him on his threes. So yeah, we did a better job.
You talked a lot about shot selection after the Detroit game. How did you feel about it today? I mean, most notably, Joe was 7 for 13, which was a big
Yeah,
improvement.
no, I thought he did a better job. He rushed a couple in the first half, but Jaleel forced a couple, and I talked to him about that. And I thought Dwayne had a stretch there where he didn't move the ball like he should have. But for the most part, it's early we're early in the season in November. We're going to take a few bad ones, but we got to tighten it up. With the good teams we're going to play here next week. We can't waste possession. We can't take questionable shots. We got to get good shots, and hopefully our guys will continue to get better at it.
Do you feel like that happens more when the pace is being pushed up? Like, I think there was a couple of runs where you guys were moving the ball real well, and I think that's when maybe one of Jaleel's.
Yeah. No, you're right. When the pace, they get excited, and again, there's no lack of confidence by them. They're all wanting to get a shot up. So, and I like that. I want them to be aggressive, but I also want them to understand the difference between a good one and a questionable one. And
Dana.
we just got to do a better job.
Dana, it's pretty amazing 3 games in, your chemistry already is so good with so many young players or new players. Are you happy with the chemistry so far?
Yes, no, and the 3 guys returning, and the new guys, they've been really easy to work with, and no, they like each other. They work hard in practice. Our numbers aren't what we'd want them to be, but the guys all seem to get along pretty good. They share the ball. They all want to play, but they understand when somebody else is out there. So, we're off to a decent start here. It's obviously just 10% of our schedule, so we got a long ways to go. But we're off to a good start. And today was a big hurdle for us. I was worried about this game the minute I saw it on the schedule, and I knew we would have our hands full. They're well coached. I like their team. I like the players, and I knew we'd have our hands full.
What's your real impressions of Michigan?
Well, I haven't watched a lot. I watched part of the Detroit game last night. Like I said, they'll kind of similar. You'll be reminded of us. They spread the floor. They run the 2-guard front, the high post, and run some of the same stuff. So they're athletic. They are very talented and quick. So it'll be a big test for us. I think some publications have them picked second in the Big Ten. I think they got maybe as low as 3rd or 4th in other publications, but everybody had them in the top 4. So we'll have a tough one on our hands.
You feel like these young guys seem pretty confident, and kind of you go in there and everybody will look at the other 3s being ranked, and you guys aren't, but you feel like these guys can take a pretty good shot up against the team?
I'd be really disappointed if they did. shouldn't go into that any less confident. I don't think we're underdogs. We're going there to play. We just got a little bit more inexperience to deal with on the road than the other three teams do. Villanova is very experienced. VCU is pretty experienced, and Michigan's more experienced than us. So we're just the least experienced. That's all. We'll go in the swing way, and our guys should expect to win, and better fight their tails off to try to make that happen.
The old Toledo to 4 of 15 shooting from three-point land in the second half. What was the difference in the way he guarded the three-point?
Well, most of it was Brown. You know, he got us that first half. And I just thought we shaded him a lot better and got after him a lot better than we did. All 4 of the threes, we were there in the first half. We just didn't have a hand. You know, and he got his rhythm and got the ball up and went 4 for 6 in that first half. So I thought that was the big difference.
You talked about being worried for this team. Is that something that you're going to feel for most of the season going into like increasingly big tests, or at what point you get kind of
Well, you're there.
comfortable?
I've worked about everything. But yeah, no. Anytime you've got an inexperienced player, you know, everything's new. Like we're going on the road now. You know, our guys feel pretty comfortable here now a little bit. You know, you can see that coming, and now we go on the road. So how will they handle us getting down early like we did, and on the road with nobody to help them come back? You know, and how will the freshmen? You know, is Jordan going to play with that same energy on the road as he does here? You know, with everybody cheering him on, because he gets pumped when somebody yells, and he gets all fired up. So will he have that same kind of energy on the road? You know, and so yeah, we'll be very apprehensive going into that game. We don't know how they'll respond. You know, I have a pretty good idea how Joel and Elgin will respond, and Julie will settle down. But the new guys, you know, Dwayne's never played in that kind of atmosphere before, and those freshmen obviously haven't. So, you know, the Brooklyn Center is a beautiful building, so they'll all be looking around, and it'll take a while to get used to it.
We get to have practice there, or
Yeah, we're going to practice there Sunday at noon. Tomorrow's just a travel day. We'll get in there, we'll stretch out, watch the Ducks play. We get in there early enough. We got a real early flight tomorrow morning, Portland direct flight, and we'll get in there, watch the Ducks play, and then stretch and get ready. And then Sunday we'll have practice at noon, and get a good meal, and be ready to go Monday night.
Dana, you said that no one wanted to play Toledo. How did that come about? I'm curious why you said that.
Well, there's 4 teams in the tournament, and we drew the short straw. Everybody wanted to get a couple wins going into Brooklyn, and Toledo. I don't think anybody would argue of the 4 teams that rotated and played the 4 teams was by far the best. Toledo, Detroit, Bucknell has a nice team, and Maryland Eastern Shore, but Toledo had the most guys back, highest power ranking. By far the best of those 4. See, now those 4 will go to Toledo now and play a tournament.
Oh, God.
So they'll get, this is an exempt tournament. Everybody gets 4 games, so now they'll go to Toledo and play a tournament at Toledo.
What type of player can Dwayne be going forward for this team?
Well, I think he can be very versatile. He's long enough to do some things inside. His athleticism, you saw by the tip in, start the second half. His athleticism's really good. His ball skills have to improve. He's got to get much more familiar with what we're doing, but he can be a really good player. He's really athletic. He's really coachable. He's got to get in better shape, and you've got to get him stronger. But no, his upside, because of his athleticism and because of his coachability, his upside's really good. Thank you.